Hi guys, welcome back to Refreshing Motherhood. If you are new here, my name is Taylor and I am a budget-loving first-time mama, and today I'm going to give you some tips on how to shop for Christmas and buy amazing gifts that do not break the bank. So Christmas time is a time that I feel like is so easy to completely blow your budget and spend so much more money than is actually necessary. And so I want to give you my 5 tips for doing Christmas on a budget. So my first tip for you is to plan ahead. If you wait until the last minute, you're definitely more likely to not even consider your budget or the expenses that you're making, just because you want to make sure you get all the gifts for everybody bought on time and wrapped and under the tree before Christmas Day. So planning ahead can be really, really helpful. So my first thing that I do when I start planning ahead for Christmas is write out a list of every single person I need to buy for. And really make sure that you include Secret Santas, work parties, anything like that that you may have. Add that on the list and go through and be able to visually look at it and visually think, okay, we have all of these people here. Now, first things first, let's create a budget. You can create a budget per person. You can create a budget for family. You can create a budget overall. If you have, okay, we have this much money that we want to spend on Christmas this year, let's divide it up. We do ours kind of based off of what it is. A Secret Santa is going to have a smaller amount than, let's say, a spouse would, for example. And that's just how we do it. So we write everybody out and we literally write the dollar amount next to each person's name of how much we have allotted to spend on that person. And that's really helpful, knowing, okay, I have this much money, and you can take it person by person rather than as you're shopping, buying, oh, you know, so-and-so might like this, you know, auntie, whoever might like this, and then you realize at the end of it, wow, you spent so much money, and maybe your presents don't necessarily add up, where you gave 3 presents to your aunt and only 1 to your uncle because you forgot about the other 2 that you bought for her. So that's something that I felt like has been really helpful, is really being purposeful with your planning as far as Christmas presents go and Christmas present dollar amounts go, if that kind of makes sense. The other thing that goes with that is saving. So planning ahead and saving specifically for that total that you get at the end of your list can be really helpful. We set aside money every single month specifically for Christmas, so when it comes to December, we have our full stockpile of all of the money, and we don't have to put it on credit. We don't have to try to find that money elsewhere at the end of the month. We have it set aside. So I know that that's probably not a helpful tip right now, seeing that it is November, but next year you can start and saying, okay, we're gonna add Christmas onto our budget so we have it. So use this year's list that you created as a guideline for what can work for you for saving monthly next year. Tip number 2 is to shop early and specifically price match. So something that I think is really helpful is saying, okay, if we write our list out and we planned, okay, we see that we have these people here, and you kind of can think ahead of, I might want to get so-and-so a watch. So if you say, okay, I'm going to specifically get my mom a watch this year. So you're looking for a watch, and instead of buying the first one that comes to you because you're shopping the day before Christmas, try doing a little bit of research. Look online, go in stores, see what stores are having sales. If you know of good Black Friday sales coming, then be purposeful. Again, purposeful is like the theme of this video. Being purposeful with what you are purchasing and where you're purchasing it from. So if you know, okay, this store is having a sale on Black Friday, I'm gonna specifically go there and get the watch. Or I know that this person's having a Thanksgiving sale, so I'm going to purchase it from them. So you can really start planning and searching for where you want those deals to come from, and you can save a lot of money in the process. My third tip for you today is to look for sentimental value over financial value. Just because a gift is expensive doesn't mean that it's great. You can have an inexpensive gift that really means a lot, that somebody will absolutely love because of the sentimental, emotional value associated with it. So really be purposeful, again, with what you're buying for people. When you make your original list, back to point 1, and you start planning ahead for who you're gonna buy for, plan ahead for what you're gonna buy for. What are those people really love? What are their interests? What are their likes? What do you think that they will be really drawn to and excited to open up on Christmas morning? It doesn't have to be the most expensive thing you can find. Something that is really tailored toward that specific person is gonna go over so much more than an expensive Christmas gift. And going along with that, my fourth tip is to be resourceful with what you're buying, how you're buying it, and what the item is. For example, choose potentially a homemade item for grandma over something that you could buy in the store. I'm sure that if your kids got together and made a really beautiful frame that you put a family picture in and you gave it to grandma, she would absolutely love that, rather than a gift that you could buy in the store. Something that you put effort into, that you could see the love that and care that went into that gift. Some people will really, really love and be drawn toward those things. Now, we all have those people in the family that don't really care for homemade gifts, so this is probably not for them, and that doesn't mean that every single person in your family has to get a homemade gift, but find those people who will really respond well to homemade gifts, and you can save money that way. And my fifth and final tip is try to find a need versus a want. Now, this one's tricky because everybody has their Christmas list of things that they want. But are you gonna buy an item that is gonna get shoved in the corner or put on a shelf or in the closet that they're never gonna use? That is not being smart and purposeful with your money. So think of a gift that they want but they also need, and something that can be really, really useful. And it doesn't have to be socks and underwear. It can be something that you know they're gonna use on a daily basis. So instead of getting a really fancy toy for the kids in your family, maybe get a really cool interactive book. The Usborne book collection has an amazing shine the light books where you can put a flashlight behind and things pop out. It might not seem as exciting as a shiny new toy on surface level, but you know it's going to be useful, and you know that they're really going to enjoy it once they start playing with it and really interacting. So I hope that these tips were helpful for you. I hope that you can really find a way to not break the budget for Christmas. I think that it's so important to not completely blow everything that you've been working so hard toward on one event. And you know what, when it comes down to it, Christmas is not about the gifts, it's not about the presents. There's a greater meaning, and celebrating that meaning with your family is what is most important. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have a tip that I missed, please leave it down in the comments below, because I would love to read them, and I'm sure everybody else would too. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys. I'm so excited to be doing a DIY affordable tablescape for you. One of the things I love about Thanksgiving in particular is the table can look so beautiful. So I'm going to show you a designer worthy tablescape that your families are going to be so impressed by. So starting off with what you're going to need,